We obviously enjoy a lot of support from various government departments here in the Philippines. Today I'm very pleased to say that we have a speaker from the Board of Investments, and he will be actually our first speaker. His name is Domingo Bagaporo, and he will be speaking, and I think we have uploaded his presentation to you beforehand. After Domingo has spoken, we will then have a testimonial from a company called PayWizard, who successfully have established a business here in the Philippines, and we're very pleased to have with us Moira, who is their Senior Vice President for HR and Corporate Communications and Change Management. And in addition, we have Tainton, who is their Chief Operating Officer. We'd like to thank them as well for participating. So the other thing I'd like to just say to all the participants, thank you very much for joining us and taking the time. This is a listen mode only. Therefore, we will have some questions and answers at the end, but you have to type your question. So without further ado, once again, a warm welcome. I wish you all the best, and I really hope that you get a lot from this presentation, and that will realize itself in actually doing business here in the Philippines. Thank you very much. Without further ado, let me kindly hand you over to Mr. Domingo. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Chris, for that kind short introduction. And good morning there. And well, here it's already 5:30 in the afternoon. And first of all, I would like to thank the British Chamber of Commerce in the Philippines for inviting, on behalf of the DTI Board of Investment, for inviting me to discuss some opportunities or the current landscape in doing business in the Philippines. So as Chris said, we have provided you with advanced copy of the materials that I'm going to discuss today, and you can use it as a reference. Okay, so again, to the participants, thank you also for your time to attend this webinar. Okay, yeah, actually, let me, I'm discussing to you about the doing business in the Philippines, and maybe an introduction why you should consider investing in the Philippines. Okay, let's start with the first slide about our Philippine advantage. As I said, you have a copy of this one. Okay. Well, in terms of the growth domestic product, we have here the data, stable and resilient economic growth. GDP for 2014 is about 6.1, and for 2013 it's a 7.2, and 2012 is 6.8. It's a gross domestic product. And well, this is, as you will notice, there is a slight slowdown in 2014 GDP compared with 2013. This is due to some moderate spending on government spending on particular infrastructure. But you have here the data. This is actually the highest, one of the highest in the Asia, next to China, and this is actually the highest among ASEAN, our gross domestic product. On the global competitiveness ranking, as you can see in the data, based on the World Bank report of 2014, ease of doing business out of 189 countries, you will see that from 138 to 108. So this is actually an improvement. We jumped about 30 notches on this area is of doing business based on the World Bank 2014 report. Also on the global competitiveness based on the 2014-2015 data of the World Economic Forum, out of 144 countries surveyed, we actually improved from 59 to 52. As you know, as we go down on the ranking, as the number goes down, it means that we're improving on the performance side. On the economic freedom of the world, 2013 report, out of 152 countries, from 61, we again improved to 56. So that's actually a 5 notch improvement. Index of economic freedom, 177 countries surveyed, and in 2014 from 97, and we are now landed at 89. Okay, just some of the basic facts about why you consider Philippines as an investment destination. Okay, in terms of people, actually we are dynamic people, Philippines, and we are actually world's 8th friendliest country based on HSBC World Explorer Survey in 2011. And then based on the HSBC again report in 2012 that is entitled The World by 2020, the Philippines is set to become the 16th largest economy. So actually, we also improve on that area. Okay, moving on. On the area of governance and anti-corruption measures, based on the Transparency International report out of 177 countries report in 2013, we already previously our rank is 105, and then we again improved to 94 in this area on anti-corruption. And on government effectiveness, again based on the 2013 World Bank report, out of 215 countries, we improved by 1 notch, actually from 58 to 57. Credit ratings is actually a very important indicator. Actually, based on the credit ratings on Outlook in 2014, by Fitch, Standard, and Poor, these are actually the rating agencies, investment information, and the Japan Credit Rating Agency were actually stable. That means that this is an investment grade credit ratings done by these different agencies that surveyed our credit rating ranking. Okay, well, the Philippine advantage, actually, we are banking on our manpower, our rich talent pool. Okay, we are highly professional and educational and English profession. Our most of our 90% of our people really speaks so well in English. And also another indicator is strong customer service orientation, meaning once a Filipino is employed in that company, they show always loyalty to that company. Then highly trainable with is the learning fast learning curve. So Filipino workers or employees are actually trainable. And then adaptable to universal culture. That's one of our quality, meaning any culture we can work with. And then have a high level of commitment and loyalty, meaning our workers are very loyal to the company that they work with. In terms of production of media graduates, every year we graduate more than 500,000 professionals. And those are actually into medical and natural science. We have the data, business and accounting related fields, social and behavioral science, engineering and architecture, IT related and mathematics, fine arts and humanities and others. So as I said, every year we produce this number of graduates. Okay, on the area of infrastructure, okay, we have heard information on the number of airports, international 10 and domestic 75, railways. We have that also. We have the roll-on and roll-off facilities for our connecting the railways, roads, networks. We have that, the data on our road networks. Also, number of economic zones. These are actually the pre-portions that we have, 66 manufacturing economic zones. We have 197 IT parks and centers, 17 agro-industrial ecozones, 18 tourism economic zone, 2 medical tourism zone. These are actually locations which you can actually select. This will host you, this is economic zone, and they have a very reasonable price in terms of rental. On the area of location, okay, the Philippines is actually location. Our location is actually a very critical one because we are actually crossroads of more than 500 million people in ASEAN. This is actually a huge market. So easily, if you can see the map, we are at the center, and easily you can reach Philippines through this to the ASEAN market with between 3 to 4 hours easily. So we are actually at the center of that universe. So I'm talking of the ASEAN market, which is more than 500 million people. On the lifestyle area of lifestyle, we are the second home of expatriates who enjoy company of warmest people in the region and openness to various cultures. And then accessible and affordable luxurious value for money housing, modern recreational facilities, first-rate educational institutions. A lot of international schools are being put up also, and a number are already existing. A growing favorite for tourism destination. We have a lot of tourism destination that can accommodate uh, tourist or tourist patrons. Okay, on the area of incentives, we have a very attractive package of incentives. Actually, if you can see in the figure, we have uh, three major areas which can get the incentives. Is the BY incentives, and then the PESA. This is actually the economic zone, and the different actually bases or the previous military bases are converted into a zone. Also, the Clark Development Corporation, so big. These are actually the package of incentive. You can see that the tax holiday, which is actually one of the major incentives. You can see the matrix for your reference. So we are really, our investments incentives are very attractive to foreign companies and also local companies. Uh, okay, I think the details you can just see it there. But this is, as I said, these are available to both foreign and local companies. And by the way, this is very important, particularly for the small and medium enterprises, which Chris mentioned earlier. I'd like to uh, give this information to you because you might be thinking that the incentives is only proving. These are available to micro, small, medium, and large companies. So no limitation on the part of, say, capitalization. Small, medium company can avail of similar incentives. Maybe you will ask, who are with us? The symbols or the logo will tell you who are with us. These are just some of the examples. On the electronics, you have heard the companies. These are their logo who are with us now. On the motor vehicle, we have the major players, particularly Japanese companies who are doing their business here. Actually, they are manufacturing vehicles here. On the mining side, we have here the global players of the mining. The IT or ICT, Information Communication Technology area, we have here the uh, companies that we are hosting, pharmaceutical companies. You can see here they are really a foreign owned companies, and also the tourism. Other sectors, we did not actually include it, but almost all of the area, even in the agribusiness, we have a major players here. These are just some samples. Okay. The presentation will include what is BY is all about, and then I would like to present to you about our function and services. Okay, the Philippine Board of Investment actually is an agency under the Department of Trade and Industry, the Philippines, DTI. This is our mother agency. We are responsible of promoting investment in the country, both local and foreign. And as lead investment promotion agency, we want to boost the development of our country or in industries in order to create job And also we want to balance the growth of that industry. So what we mean is we are promoting the whole country as an investment destination. We want to have a balanced development. We provide assistance, as I said, to Filipino and foreign investors to set up their business in the country and in desirable areas of economic activities. Okay, so specifically our function, okay, provide information support, meaning we provide information to companies who are actually doing due diligence. If you need information, if you want to get information how to start business in the country, you want data on that, we can provide you. We also provide basic program development and investment briefing, meaning any incoming missions, we give them a briefing on the economic landscape of the country of the Philippines. We do also business matching. We have a database of companies interested in, they have project in certain area of economic activity, and if foreign investor wants to have that as a partner, we can match. So we do business matching for the local and foreign investors. And of course, our one of our main passion is of course border investment on investment promotion, and also we do some industry development. These are actually our road mapping of specific sectors which we want to actually to promote, and we have a list of already of so many road maps ready for consideration by the both local and foreign investors. On business registration, actually we have a network of 28 government agencies that practically has something to do with business. And if you want assistance on this government, specific government agencies, the BY can assist you or can link you to them. We will be assisting you, say on company registration, problems on clearances, we can do that also. Also, fast tracking of project registration, that's part of our regulatory function because registration, before you can be avail of the incentives, you have to register with the Board of Investment or the Economic Zone, or as the case may be. So we fast track, follow up project registration. Of course, supervision and monitoring is one of the usual functions. And then, of course, the incentives administration. This is the cream of the crop of the why you register with UI. So we administer this one. And then this is one, assistance with local government requirements. So as I said, if you have, say, local permit that you want to get from this local government unit, we can assist you also in that. Then aftercare services, actually, we have a unit. Actually, I handle the aftercare services myself. And these are actually a support. This is after sales if it comes to the product. Meaning after registration, we go back to you and say, how can we assist you? How can we help you in your problems? So we regularly visit these companies. This is our post activity. When it comes to product, maybe this is on services. Actually, we go back to you and provide the necessary assistance that you want after investing or putting up your project. Okay, opportunities in the Philippines. Okay, these are actually areas which we are encouraging both local and foreign. Okay. Okay. Actually, this is based on our law. Actually, the law is called the EU 226 Omnibus Investment Code. This is actually practically our Bible, which provide the menu of activities or incentives that are provided to registrants with the Board of Investments. One is for generally, regardless of nationality, a company that wants to put up business in the country should be organized in the Philippines. So this will be covered by us. Is EC, our Security Exchange Commission registration. And for domestic enterprises, the priority or the project should be included in the latest investment priorities plan, which I will discuss in the succeeding slides. Our IPPs, the list is a menu of activities that are encouraged every year. So for a domestic enterprise, what is meaning you are catering to the domestic market, it can be 100% foreign owned if the project is a pioneering activity, and up to 40% foreign owned if only non-pioneer status. But for export-oriented enterprises, pioneer or non-pioneer, if 60% Filipino and 40% foreign owned, we will require you to export at least 50% of your production or services. And if more than 40% foreign owned, at least 70% of the total output of production or services should be exported. Okay, As I mentioned, this is our priority investment priority areas. We call this the IPP, Investment Priorities Plan, which we actually prepare annually. And for this year, this is just a new innovation because it should be prepared annually. We prepared a 3-year IPP. This is 2014 to 2016, but this will be reviewed after 1 year. But the listing already says that the period of the IPP effectivity is 3 years, 2014 to 2016. These are the preferred areas on manufacturing. You have the motor vehicle, excluding motorcycle, e-bikes, then motor vehicle parts and components. We have also the shipbuilding as one of the priority activity, including parts and components. Aerospace parts and components are priority areas. And then chemical, or the chemical is actually the oleochemicals, and chemicals and derivatives. You have there the specific activity. And then virgin pulp and paper, copper wires and copper rods, basic iron steel products, then tool and die. And then on the next slide will be the agri and fishery. This is actually one or the bread and butter of the board of investment on agri, because Philippines is actually an agricultural country. You have here the agribusiness and fishery. And then on services, integrated circuit design is actually a priority activity. Creative industries, knowledge-based services, these are actually the IT-related activities. Charging station for vehicles, maintenance and repair overall of aircraft, this is the MRO. Industrial waste treatment, I've seen in the profile of the attendees about interested in water treatment or water management. I think this can be covered in the priorities. Okay. On the fourth, economic and low-cost mass housing, hospitals, we are encouraging this. Energy, particularly renewable energy, we are actually, this is a priority project of the government. And then the public infrastructure and the logistics. Then on export, anything that you export, production and manufacture export product, I mentioned about export activities. And then service exporters, this is to support the exporters. And then the third one is activities in support of the exporter, and then service exports. Okay. Okay. This actually special laws that you're actually in this slide. These are actually the priority areas which as per law mandated that we have to provide incentives. These are covered by specific law like industrial tree plantation, mining, publication or printing of books, refining, storage, and marketing distribution, rehabilitation, development of self-reliance of persons with disability, renewable energy. I mentioned earlier about renewable energy, but this one, there are specific laws. There is a specific laws which provide more generous incentives in this one. Then the tourism activity. So as I said, this the previous slide is covers an activity is as per law. We have to provide specific incentives. Okay, we have the arm list. ARM is actually a list of activities that are actually drawn by our brothers in the South Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao, and this covers priority activities as have been identified by them. They have very specific export activities. Actually, the ARM list is very wide, has a very wide coverage. And as you can see in the map, the area that will be covered by the location. The one in colored in light brown, these are actually the location is specific. So this project, if you once you want to undertake activity under the ARM list, you have to locate your project in the area which is colored brown. This is actually the area covered by autonomous region of Muslim Mindanao. And you can say that the specific activities. Okay. Next. Okay. These are the incentives. Actually, this was enumerated earlier, but the fiscal incentives is actually the income tax holiday, 6 years for projects with pioneer status and also for less developed areas, 4 years for new non-pioneer status, 3 years for example, expansion project. We have duty exemption on capital equipment. These are actually production equipment and spare parts. Exemption from workplace, tax exemption on breeding stock for agricultural products. then tax credit on imported raw materials, additional deduction. Non-fiscal, these are called non-monetary. You have the unrestricted use of consigned equipment, employment of foreign national. Well, these are actually the simplification of process of your importation and access to funded manufacturing warehouse. Okay, so these are the new incentives that you can get once you register with the Board of Investment, and also with other economic zones or pre-port zones. You can get specific incentives on that. Okay, but you can register in any agency provided no double availment of incentives is not allowed under the law. Okay, so next. Okay, that ends the presentation. If you have a specific question, I'm happy to hear that. But first, let me end by saying that, okay, invest in the Philippines, your business, and our people. Thank you and good afternoon.
Okay, one thing.
Transfer. Hello. Today we are joining you from Scotland, and it is a warm and sunny day here. That was a very interesting update from Domingo, and it is great to hear of the fantastic developments and opportunities available in the Philippines. My name is Moira Brown. I'm Senior Vice President of Human Resources within PayWizard, and I am joined today by my colleague Gordon Tainton, who is our company's Chief Operating Officer. We have both felt very fortunate to have been asked in setting up a Manila office and to meet some wonderful, supportive people along the way. Gordon, my colleague, will discuss these people further in his presentation. So at PayWizard, what do? We provide software and services for the TV industry and have done so for the last 17 years. We are based in Scotland and have had many large UK clients, including British Telecom, Digital UK, ITV, and NBC Universal. We had three key reasons why we needed to open a Manila office. Firstly, we were looking to expand our company internationally and increase our number of overseas offices. Secondly, we required to have a technology and sales base in Asia Pacific. But thirdly, we also needed to have the ability to have additional technology resources for our overall business. I will now pass you to my colleague, Gordon Tainton, who will tell you more about our journey on setting up a Manila office. Thank you.
Hello, this is Gordon Tainton. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at PayWizard. I led the initial pathfinding, fact-finding visit to the Philippines, and in particular to Manila. We needed 3 key areas of help. Legal services, essentially appointing local legal help, representation, recruitment agencies regarding how we would get hold of the staff we required, what the pay rates were, and how we would operate within the current employment legislation, and real estate agents. Where would we locate our office, what the costs would be, what the lease terms would be, and which was the best place to place that office, particularly with regard to staff getting there easily. On one of our sales visits, we had visited the British Chamber of Commerce and had some great discussions with them. And following that, we joined the British Chamber and met Rona. She was invaluable in our initial pathfinding and subsequent support of our commercial venture in the Philippines. For the Pathfinder visit, she planned our visit, essentially identifying companies that could help, giving us lists of companies that we could choose from under the 3 headings of recruitment, legal, and real estate. Once we had chosen from those lists, the British Chamber set up meetings with us, so that for the Pathfinder visit, so that we could make use of the time that we were in Manila most efficiently. The British Chamber of Commerce was able to access very senior staff, and we were able to meet decision makers immediately from all of these companies, which was hugely beneficial and time-saving. They organized where we would meet people, and in some cases we were able to use the Chamber's offices as a meeting place, which was very helpful as it saved some of our traveling time, and all the facilities were provided, such as coffees, teas, and all the secretarial support. In addition, Rona and her team were able to help us with directions when arriving in a brand new city, often very difficult to know where to go, and she was able to assist us greatly with that. Following our pathfinding visit, we did some analysis and came to a decision that for ourselves specifically, and for our objectives of setting up a IT resource-based office, which also was a sales office, we decided that our easiest and in fact fastest option was to use a business outsourcer, KMC Solutions, who have been very, very professional and very, very helpful to us. Firstly, they have a variety of business locations across Manila as well as the Philippines. They offered us fully serviced offices covering all of the back office support structures, including security, cleaning, even IT equipment, telephony, and etc. They also have the service of offering a recruitment resource where they advertised the roles, did pre-screening of the staff, and assisted us with the interview arrangements and made job offers, and subsequently also managed those staff for us on an ongoing basis, particularly with regard to payroll and HR requirements. Our experience has been incredibly positive, particularly with regard to speed and flexibility that we have found across Manila. The challenges that we have faced include a highly developed employment legislation which is regulated, and my advice would be that depending on what type of company you are, whether you are just doing sales or whether you are considering setting up a branch or a subsidiary, and all the relevant regulations that follow from that, you must consider very carefully the employment legislation, as it is highly developed and you would need specialist support. Local legal advice is invaluable. Local legal experience that we receive from KMC is invaluable. There are certain things, as you would expect, that are also unique to the region, such as paying a 13th check. These are things to be considered when you're doing your costings and analysis. The last challenge is traffic. Said with a sort of light-hearted smile, however, it is fairly important to consider carefully where your base is, particularly with regard to how easy it is for your staff to get to work, as traffic can be a huge problem trying to get across town. Taxis are very, very efficient, and there are many of them. However, you need to build that time into any travel time that you require. In summary, this decision to open an office in Manila has been very successful for us and a fantastic decision for us. The most important thing has been the very high quality of staff that we have managed to recruit. We were looking for very specific, skilled software engineers. We have found them. They are very high quality. They have, the costs are significantly lower than you would find in the UK or any other nearshore contractors. However, the most important issue, I believe, is the quality of the staff and their customer service focus across the board. They are very keen to do a good job and to please their employers. We set up very fast. From the initial Pathfinder visit in October 2015, we had signed our agreement in January October 2014. We had set up in January 2015 and were operational in our office, fully equipped with staff by the end of February 2015. An indication of the can-do attitude that you find in the Philippines. There is significant ability to increase our staff and premises on the option that we selected. And following on to the following point, there was many promises made that we would be able to find staff, and we've had experience of that in other areas, and when you come to it, there actually aren't those staff available. This is not our experience in Manila. There are staff available. They are willing to be employed, and this was one of our major requirements for setting up there. The box was ticked, we could find the staff, and it was hugely successful. We would not have achieved that without the support of the British Chamber in Manila and their fantastic staff and our chosen outsourcer KM Solutions. I would urge all of you to consider looking at the Philippines, as our experience has been entirely positive. Thank you for your time. I'll now hand back.
Okay, we're back. So first of all, thank you very much to, obviously, firstly, Domingo, and then secondly to both Moira and to Gordon. Highly appreciated it. We're now in the position to take questions, which you can type on your screen, and they can be directed. After we've had a few questions, we'll also do a very short presentation thanking our speakers. So, do we have any questions coming in?
We have one.
We have one. I'll just read it out for everyone. Are companies who do not belong to the preferred list not qualified for incentives?
Okay, thank you for that question from, I think, Mr. Oliver. Thank you for that question, sir. So actually, as a role, it should be listed in the our investment priorities plan. You have the list preferred areas, but if it will not be there, you go down on the second level. Any export activities that you want to do it, manufacture or export products, that's the second level. If you are not qualified on the first preferred areas. Okay, assuming that you are still in the export activities, you can go ahead with the project. Of course, that's without the necessary incentives. But you still pursue. Like on the trading, export trading, it's not actually an area, preferred area, for purposes of incentives. But you can go ahead with the project. That's still allowed without the necessary incentives. And thank you for that question.
Okay. Any other questions? No?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was the only question we had typed in today. If you have more questions, please feel free to email them to Mr. Domingo. I also would assume also if you need anything out of PayWizard, I'm sure they would also. And here at the British Chamber, we're happy to support you or to respond if we can. And we've also shared all the contact details of Mr. Domingo, and he's very happy to respond.
We have the email address.
Okay. The final part of our webinar today is if I can have, so this is going to be for all of you to watch. We have a very simple plaque for Mr. Domingo for his work today. I'd like to hold that in front of the screen, shake his hand.
Thank you, Chris, for this opportunity, and we thank also the our visitor or guest from the UK for this opportunity also to share with us what we can offer to you. And anytime, contact us of any assistance, and we are ready to help you or assist you in your future activities.
Thank you very much, Mr. Domingo. The other one is we have a plaque actually for PayWizards, but we haven't yet perfected the technique of sending the plaque through the internet. But we will try and find a way of getting the plaque to you, Moira. And once again to Moira and to Gordon, thank you very much. To all the people who've attended today on this webinar, I'd like to give you a warm thank you. And just to actually come to just a couple of announcements. The first is that the British Chamber is putting together a trade mission from the 28th to 29th of September, and we will have details, and there are flyers and contacts, so please kindly, if you wish to be interested, look at those. Also, the Philippine Business Council is also planning a trade mission from the 20th to the 23rd of November. The contact for that is Eamon Staunton, and he can be contacted on his email, staunton1964@hotmail.com. With that, I'd just like to wish everybody a very great day. Thank you very much for attending. It's good evening from here in the Philippines, and I guess for those of you in London and the UK and Scotland, it's still good morning. Thank you very much for attending. We appreciate it, and we'll look forward to seeing you at our next webinar, or actually doing business in the Philippines. Thank you and good day.
Nice, Chris. Thank you.